Hello. Been a while. Been like a good 3 weeks since I last did a video. Uh, fortunate enough today to be looking through some of the prelims content from the World Championships. Um, Obviously, I've not seen these games. I know the result. Jan has been abstaining, so he doesn't know the result. And I've asked Jan to join me because obviously we're expecting some high level gameplay today. I know Jan is in the form of his life right now, so perhaps there's some sort of mind games going on that he'll understand. He'll be able to tune into the wavelength of what's going on here. Jan, you good, mate?
Yeah, I'm even better after that intro. Thank you so much. Very kind words. But yeah, great to be here as always. Thank you very much for having me along. Really looking forward to seeing what we're about to watch. I have no idea, as you say, who's won, who won any of their individual matches, any of the outcomes. I've only really just seen the teams, so I'm quite excited to kind of have a think about what they're going to bring and things like that. Yeah, I'm just really, really pumped for this. I think it's really cool. So
cool. Well, speaking of teams, Jan, here's the teams on the screen now. Who's going to win?
Oh, that's the $1 million question, right? So I think my initial thoughts is that there seems to be a couple of themes. Deoxys obviously being a popular pick. I mean, are we really surprised by that though? Probably not, no. But DancingRob going with approaching what I would call team thick there, to be honest. Diggersby, Mandy, Defense Deoxys, that I love that. That's like me all over. But then obviously supplementing that with some very squishy stuff, Swampert, Frost, Avalanche. That's a lot of pressure there. I could imagine that causing a lot of problems. It's like you can just save those shields for any one of those three frail ones and pair them with any of the three tanks there, right? So that's quite a potential strategy, right? Yerkoski bringing in Mew. I mean, that's just the wild card, playing a bit of Mewlet, right? So, yeah, it's tough. I mean, they're obviously all great players, right? They wouldn't be here if they weren't great players. They can make whatever work. But I'm looking at Seekey, and that team just looks wild in comparison to everything else.
Do you know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling like if it's what my initial thoughts were, like it wouldn't take much for like Seekey or HotPocket to have a really good day, and just things just to fall in place for them, because they've got ones that are really good at hard countering things, but also like very good generalists as well. Like obviously Meganium and Politoed, and Bastiodon can be walled quite. It can happen, right? And obviously they are very hard counters to what they counter, but they're also very good generalists as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't take a lot for things to go really well for Seekey in particular.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, you can look across those three teams there. Like, let's take Bastiodon for an example. Like, obviously, it's not going to want to really take counts from Defense Deoxys, but it's also not awful because they're not stab counters, so it can live them a little bit. So, and it's those Stone Edge still hurt quite a bit, and now it's an XL Bastiodon. It's definitely around for a lot longer. I'm going to assume it's XL Bastiodon. Most of the top players probably have it, but yeah, hey ho. But again, like, what else are you looking at there? Swampert, yes, but beyond that, I mean, actually, it has quite good matchups with a lot of the other stuff. If it misses, other than Diggersby, but it's got a lot of targets, so it's not like it's going to be definitely hard counted necessarily. Plays it correctly. One thing that I love about that team as well, I know it's speaking about Seekey quite a lot here, but I know you're definitely going to hate it, is our friend Rapion, and that thing is a beast. I don't know how much remix you've been playing lately. But that thing is just wild. The speed, like Poison Sting speed, is just insane, and its attack stat is really decent. And now with a crunch buff, this thing is a monster if it gets a debuff. And at 30%, it happens. So yeah, maybe just the way that I'm talking, I'm looking at Seekey as I'm liking that team. I think it could do a lot of damage. But I think overall, there seems to be lots of variations in the theme. Reggie being quite popular here as well, being in two of the teams. That's a bit of a surprised to me. But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else that you pick out?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that struck me initially was that there's 3 Swamperts, 3 Deoxys, and there's a couple of Mandibuzz. And the fact that both Yerkoski and DancingRob went for that, in the Silph format, things work and they work for a reason. Like if both of these top players are identifying this as a potential core, there's got to be something there to it. And I also think that Yerkoski's triple psychic line could be really dangerous, especially as between the other 3 players, they only have 1 dark type between them, and Mew and DD can hurt the Marowak as well. Oh no, sorry, they have Drapion as well. Okay. Yeah, the triple psychic I thought was interesting and could potentially cause problems. So I guess I'd be backing Yerkoski. My initial thoughts were Yerkoski has probably got the matchup here.
I think it probably has. I think looking at it, his team probably has the most flexibility, even though he has the triple psychic. Because again, Mew can run any one of a number of different move sets. So you can patch up whatever coverage by having 3 of the same type just by having a Mew, right? Crest just takes hits as against Deoxys. As you say, it's got the play against the Marowak. It's a really, I think it's one of those things that looks a bit crazy but works quite well. Thinking back, it was actually a triple psychic line was something that I was thinking about doing for Venture before Lugia became 6 points and ruined my dreams. And it can just catch people off guard. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Yerkoski came out with a W here as well, because that's just like you can go a lot of ways with that. So, but they're all great teams. They're great players. They've all got a game plan in mind, no doubt. So we'll see. I guess really fun to see what happens.
Cool. We'll start off first game. Yerkoski versus HotPocket. That triple psychic, as we sort of just touched on, might cause HotPocket some problems here. Got the AWAC to counter back, but obviously Yerkoski also has Mandibuzz, Regirock, Swampert, as well as with Mew and DD having play there.
And at the end of the day, also imagine he goes really in on it and goes triple psychic against HotPocket. Like a load of Marowak can't beat all 3 psychics. It can't do that job. So there's every chance they could just go for the overwhelming kind of strategy there, which would be, if I was in HotPocket, would be pretty nightmarish. So yeah, definitely some tough matchups here. I perhaps wouldn't be surprised by the Shadow Gardevoir, just that it's got
there's no resistance. Yeah.
And just if you 2-shield that in the back, like that's going to do a lot of damage, especially if you get rid of the things that have fast move pressure, which are going to be, I mean, really maybe the only thing that you're worrying about is Mew there with the Shadow Claws. Everything else, Mud Shot's not doing much, Counter resisted, Psycho Pitch resisted, Lock On. No, maybe. I think that could be a big problem potentially. No, especially if he wants to try and like pivot and switch a bit, like if he gets a bad lead, potentially that's what I'd maybe be looking at. But yeah,
let's crack on then. Let's crack on. We'll see how it goes. Press play. So we are seeing the triple psychic overwhelm strat that you talked about.
I'm intrigued to see how he pilots it.
So we're seeing on the Mew side Surf and Wild Charge. So he's not going to try and bait the charge the shield out of the Swampert.
Standard move set. I mean, it's probably the best move set for when you're going into it kind of blind. It's the most generalist move set, right? So makes sense.
Yeah, no arguments from me. Interesting that he's switching to DD because now he's locked in with the attack debuff. Oh dear.
Yeah, that definitely seems like a very questionable decision. Not the way that I would play DD and outplay DD. Like, if I'm running DD on the switch, it almost seems very, very predictable. But why would you switch something in just to lock yourself in and debuff yourself? It's like if you're going to play the debuff play, why not have it in the lead? It just seems like a really strange decision. I mean, obviously, you've got a game plan in mind. DD is a great safe switch. Let's not be about the bush, but Yeah, I wouldn't go straight in on that one. But
He got out in time though, and he's managed to save a bit of energy on it, and he's stored up a lot. So we've got a nice dual crest mirror here, who can land the most charge moves.
this high octane, really dynamic matchup that we all know and love.
Glad I speed these up by 50% now. That's.
Landing did you land it? Oh, it was a
Still no shields.
Interesting. Really funny that we're having a conversation about shields earlier, wasn't it? And it's just coming through. What are people saving them for? But I suppose. But yeah, even a double shielded Mew here. If there's two shields on the other side, it's a bit of a risk, I guess. But there it is.
Oh dear, there you go.
Yeah, that's the danger. I think that's GG for HotPocket going to take this one. I think I don't see any way, unless Cress has also got a move. I missed whether it had the energy.
Oh, yeah, he's dry. Yeah.
So I think the triple is just is a good idea, but you've got to be aware of the Gardevoir. You've got to have a game plan for the Gardevoir.
Yeah. Yerkoski was very efficient in his cropping of his games, which I appreciate. So
straight into it. Yeah, I was just like, oh wait, I've got
double wild charge here.
So using Muse, that's okay. So we've got a good chunk there. That's not bad. Maybe thinking here, might as well use shields because it's going to go Gardevoir in the back. It doesn't matter if you've got shields there, does it?
Got to use your shields at some point. Yeah.
Exactly. That's you don't want to be going, not using them for multiple games. You can't carry them over. Can't use them again.
Ooh. What a swap!
That was delicious.
That was incredible.
That's why they're the best players in the world. Absolutely brilliant move there. So much energy on the Swampert. Still drinking, but got the. Are we going to see the same again? I think we're going to see the same again. Yes, there it is.
But though, the Crest has got the grass move stored, so I think the Crest comes out on top here.
But it's just got the one move stored.
Yeah, but we get the shield here, and we'll get to another red.
Yeah. Oh no, it beats it. So that's a really good adjustment by. You can see that just to kind of like be aware.
Oh,
That's so much damage. So much damage. I suppose that is the problem though, is having. Oh wow! Hang on. I love the crystal.
Yeah. So I've spent these up 50%. I get the impression that Yerkoski's also spent them up before sending me, maybe. But this is well fast.
The most exciting press match I've ever seen.
This is good though. Keeps the Regirock away from the Swampert.
Very good. So I really like that adjustment on the last game, recognising that Gardevoir is such a big problem. I think that was really good on Yerkoski's part, figuring out how to get it out. And, again, if there was a shield left, that perhaps would have been more problematic. But excellent gameplay there.
The fact that he's not shielding here though makes me think that Yerkoski thinks HotPocket's not brought the Gardevoir.
Yeah.
Maybe like that initial adjustment has meant, as like maybe he's thought that the opponent's going to adjust to his adjustment almost.
Yeah, completely. Mew locked in on the Cresselia. This is not too bad, really, obviously. Just can keep chipping away. Lets it go. Can he Shadow Claw down? Or just going to throw another one? No. Shielding again. Well, yeah, it must be the Shadow Claw down. That's absolutely terrifying.
There's no reason for the Swampert to shield this, knowing that the Crest is in the back. You've got to save that shield for the grass now, haven't you?
Completely, yeah. So Swampert hasn't really got much to do now, is it? And here's the guards. Same again. It's just going to get outpaced.
nice timing of the charms move there, not letting the charms.
I don't know what it is. I know many people make this comment, but yeah, that's GG's. Just really excellent play there. I don't know what it is about Charm. Charm seems to be the only 3-turn move which which I consistently get through on me. Like Snarl, fine. Heck, fine.
Yeah.
Charm for some reason.
No, I agree completely.
What is this madness? Niantic, fix the game.
Here is Niantic. Come on.
Make Charm a 5-turn move. That'd be better.
That's a bold call.
You know, that had to be said. But no, those were fantastic and really kind of high quality start.
Sorry, they were a bit faster than I thought they were going to be. I don't quite. I hope they're not all like that. But that was mad.
Kept me on my toes. Kept me thinking. Again, I think. So yeah, we recognise obviously that the Gardevoir would be a big problem for Yerkoski. Like there was no resistance there, but it was really. On the flip side, these players are so good that in many ways, once that strategy's worked once, unless it's a completely dominant strategy, which is literally unbeatable based on team comp, then it's not. It's one of those. It's almost very much one trick pony, and like I'm surprised that HotPocket didn't try to adjust in Game 3. Based purely on the fact that one shield against Regirock that the Gardevoir still loses, it doesn't do damage. And you saw in Game 3 there that it ended in exactly the same way. Regirock outpacing the Gardevoir, especially with the timing that Yerkoski had. Like maybe if like a charm had snuck through, that would make a bigger difference, of course. But you can't expect that with these players. So I think it was a mistake from HotPocket to go with the guard. I can understand why he did, but I think it was, sometimes something having no resistances on the team doesn't mean that it's unbeatable, right?
I think it's interesting because Yerkoski didn't bring the Mandibuzz at all. So like the Gardevoir did its job in terms of being bench pressure against the dark types. Maybe that's enough for what Gardevoir does. When you look at HotPocket's team, like Mandibuzz is going to beat Pelipper, Cresselia, Swampert, and AWAC the majority of the time. Like
if it's Snarl, it can have a fairly okay match with Regirock as well. I know the Stone is good there, but it can run it close if it has shields, as we found out in Labyrinth. So yeah, like maybe he was just leaning in on it too much, which is something that you can sometimes see with like charm players. They kind of if they like charm, they want to use it all the time. Or if they see an opening for it, it just becomes a bit predictable. I think that Yerkoski really kind of adapted very well and recognised it, and I think HotPocket just fell into the trap, to be honest.
That was their first game, so we'll see whether HotPocket adjusts.
Like you'd expect him to, like across the games, but again, that's not to detract. It was excellent player mode, so some great swaps and stuff in there as well, and energy management. So really good way to start. So Sneaky, here we go.
We'll crack on. DancingRob versus Seekey01. Thoughts here?
It's a really interesting matchup here. I'm just having a look and I'm like, it just feels like this was going to be completely about alignment in many ways. There's nothing where.
This isn't it. I mean, the Politoed looks strong.
Yeah, no, Polly's really good against. Obviously, Swampert has a great matchup for that. Whether even with Weatherballs being nerfed, Shadow Polly at the end of the day is still going to hurt. Frostlass, yes. Mandibuzz is kind of okay, I guess. Like still neutral, Diggersby, and if you have an energy advantage, you can still cause Galvantula probably, but you're taking a lot of Volt Switch damage. So yeah, not in a completely awful position there.
Both got DD as well, which neither of them have a particularly hard counter for. Like, obviously, Rob's got Frostlass and Galvantula, but neither of them want to take a Rock Slide. You'd almost say that Diggersby's equally as good of a counter to DD, despite being weak to counter. Probably, if not better, almost. Yeah,
it's just so thick, and those earthquakes do hurt. Or if you're feeling particularly spicy, Hyper Beam.
We love a beam.
No one wants to take a beam even from something like a Diggersby. But like considering how thick it is, it does hit quite hard actually. And that Fire Punch being very fast after 5 mud shots is pretty insane.
Yeah,
that spams out. It called me crazy, which many people do. But on Seekers, I actually kind of like Meganium. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of if you work in a situation where you get a few violence advantage, you can really start causing some issues. You've got the Earthquake there. Nothing really. I mean, Mandibuzz will take a Frenzy Plant fine, and that's obviously the real hard counter there. But Galvantula is like glass, and resist doesn't like it. Diggersby's definitely not wanting any of it. Swampert, Frostlass hits with a Frenzy Plant, you laugh it. Not quite the same as the Venusaur matchup, but there's play there in the game if it has some energy. I think that the Deoxys matchup isn't actually that bad either. Thinking back to season 1 of GBL when Meganium was still quite popular, so I think there's actually a lot of play there if for it as well. Drapion has a lot of coverage moves. I think Appletail can still chunk Diggersby. It can actually have a fairly okay matchup with Mandibuzz if Mandibuzz has Snarl. Has a fun matchup with Frostlass.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
What strikes me is that Talonflame, there isn't really, there's nothing that Talonflame can't hurt here.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
I mean, there's not much that Talonflame can't hurt in general, to be fair. But Diggersby, it walls Diggersby unless it's really happy, as you say. I think Mandibuzz beats it in all ifs, but it isn't going to enjoy doing that. And if you're Seekey and you've lined your Talonflame up versus your Mandibuzz, versus Rob's Mandibuzz, then Meganium isn't versus Mandibuzz. So yeah. Well, let's see what happens anyway. So we're watching this from Seekey's side. Let's press play. So
leading the Politoed there, which I can see that because he can hit most things quite well, right? So Bastiodon in the back with the Deoxys, interesting. So here come the weather balls.
Even faster at 1.5 times speed. Oh, nice catch. Nice catch.
Very nice.
Keeping the Politoed healthy, recognizing that it's strong versus most things here.
Yeah, and if you get a couple of counters in on the safe switch, Deoxys actually becomes really powerful. If you're hitting the Frostlass, if it comes in on the rock slides, like you're saying, Mandibuzz, it's not a fun match with Deoxys, but you can get to a couple extra rock slides potentially. Choosing not to shield, interesting.
I bet he's tanking a foul play from here. Oh, doesn't want to risk it. Probably got 2 though. Yeah. I could see him tanking this.
I think he might. If it's a good IV one, I think he might.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. There could have been a 1 HP in the dream there, but still not too bad. He's put the work in for Mandibuzz. Brings the DD back.
With the Mandibuzz gone, you could have think that's probably the prime target for Bastiodon.
Yeah, so I am worried about what it's going to do. Like looking at what's left, he's still get Diggersby or he needs to be set Gal or Frost really.
Yeah.
Really banking, otherwise it's just skip GGs.
No, it's not what you want to be seeing if you're Seekey.
It just feels too risky in many regards. Like I feel almost if you want to run Bastion, I'd be tempted just to put it up front.
Yeah.
Because if Bastion in the back in this situation, what's the point, really? I don't know what he was looking to hit from there. Like if the main one is Mandy or Gal or Frost, I guess it's half the team, but
that's literally a coin flip, isn't it? Although he seems to be wanting to stick with it and moving it up front as you say for game 2. He's got bringing the Meganium.
Be interested to see what the kind of response Rob does though. To see. Oh, what an adjustment! Wow. Okay.
What? He's just switching into the mirror, but he's behind that energy now. He's not going to win switch here, is he? Although he might.
he needs to sneak, but it could be slightly IV dependent, and he'll need to sneak a counter through. Is the thing. So he's now going to have to rely on Rob having poor timing. Which this again, as I alluded to in the previous match, I wouldn't be relying on that here at all. I don't. I guess it's maybe so. I can understand it from the perspective he's switched it because he doesn't want to be lined up against the Mandibus, and he definitely doesn't want the Meganium lined up there. Like so. But yeah, he desperately needs Switch here, but he's just taking too much damage.
Yeah, he's just not going to get it.
No,
because Rob's gone down shields here, but Mandibus versus Meganium, you're going to get your shield back.
Absolutely. And it's going to be either Diggersby or Swampert in the back.
Of course it is, yeah. Oh. Like, it's probably one of those where, like, the instinct is, and it's just it, like, the instinct when your opponent switches is, switch immediately. And it's very difficult in the moment to recognize when you need to stay in, do a little bit of damage, and then switch to maintain switch. But, yeah, as I say, very, very difficult to recognize in the moment when, especially in such a big tournament.
Yeah. I think for me, how I think would have been the best way to play it would have been just to kind of, because so if you want to maintain that line with the Mandibus and Bastidon doesn't need full health to beat the Mandibus, does it? So take the count, make them throw the charge move first, get some smackdowns. If you get far enough ahead, it doesn't matter if they've got their extra rock slide, you'll take switch back. So I think the play there was staying with Bastidon until at least the first charge move, maybe throw a charge move yourself, right? Because like I say, you're a counter behind. You're just not going to get that energy back, not with these players. And this is what happens. So I think stay in. I think that game is easily Seekey's. But like I say, the occasion makes you do things right.
And he's got 2 hydro cannons, yeah. And that's smart from Rob, not revealing that it's either Earthquake or Sludge Wave as well.
Absolutely.
So 2-0 to Rob. Every game counts though, because tiebreakers are decided on the book holes or whatever. It's not book holes, games won. So Rob will still be going all out for the third. Oh, yeah, he's fair play. He's sticking with the Bastidon. He's bringing the Drapion. That's.
He obviously really likes the Bucky, so he's clearly worried about those three. But Rob doesn't seem all that worried about it, does he? Like, frankly.
No, and he's not bringing the Frostlass or the Galv either.
Well, Frostlass only really wants to hit Meganium, really. Again, because Deoxys still threatens it. Like, Meganium's the only real blowout win there. So it's not. I guess it's not really surprising that he's not brought it. Running Sludge Bomb Crunch as well on Drapion, which is interesting. So that makes it even more of a risky notion for things with Diggersby, because you don't pump out that water damage quite, which is, I mean, not stab, but still hurts.
And then that one kills after the debuff, but he's maintained switch.
Yeah.
But DD with a shield advantage.
It's a tough road tough mountain to climb there. He's looking for a debuff again, I think, really.
Oh, 2 shields down. Do you know what? I've got a lot of respect for it. Like, people don't like going 2 shields down, but sometimes it's really chance. Like,
sometimes the line demands it.
Yeah.
I think like some GBL lines, obviously the same with Silph, but there's like quite a lot of times where I'll see a particular line, I'll see a particular lead, is a common one that I do. Make a judgment call about the line and think, like, I need to double shield here to make sure I maintain the alignment elsewhere and things like that. And it's a scary thing to do, especially for newer players that think like, oh, shields are really important. And shields are important. And sometimes you don't need them later in the game.
Exactly. So we see Bastidon coming into its own here.
Here we go. Warface versus the Flying Umbreon. again, I love Mandy, don't get me wrong, but two of the most, not the most dynamic Pokemon in the world.
Oh, I don't know, Mandy. Mandy might be my favourite Great League Pokemon.
It's fantastic. It's currently my lead in GBL, and it's just an absolute monster with the current meta. So come at me, everyone playing GBL. Change the leads around. Like me.
So we see with a nice bit of alignment that Seekey takes the third.
Yeah, it's a great win for Seekey there, but it kind of like, in many ways could almost hurt more for if he realizes what he did wrong in game 2, how he could have won that. So sometimes those victories can actually kind of hurt in a way because it's thinking, oh, it was within my grasp, and in this format, you've got to try and kind of shake that off a bit, right? So, but still, great games. Exactly the quality we were expecting. Or I was expecting anyway. I don't know if
Too right.
Great to see so far.
Yeah. So Yerkoski and DancingRob both won their first game, so that they match up now. Again, this is from Yerkoski's side. I think I've sped it up after Yerkoski sped it up, so we're going to be in for another very fast. If my quick maths is correct, we might be looking at 2.25 times speed here, and with no gaps in between. Does that check out?
Yeah, here we go. Right.
Matchup wise, triple psychic from Yerkoski, Mandibuzz and DancingRob. To me, that's be tough to overcome.
Triple psychic is well, it depends on the alignment really with triple psychic, because Mandy is obviously going to put you off a little bit. This is not me trying to say do silly lines. I don't think triple psychic is going to line it, but if it gets lined up with Cresselia, for example, it can get to those Moonblasts pretty quickly, and they still hurt. And it can tank. I think it can tank 2 foul plays, if I remember correctly. Or maybe I'm thinking about.
Sounds about right. Yeah, sounds about right.
So it can just take these, and then Snarl's not doing any fast move pressure, so you're gonna need at least 3 to KO the Crescent. So, and again, given how fast you get into those Moonblasts, probably going to do about the same number back. And there's always the chance of the attack debuff as well, which is now for a few seasons now has been 10%. But imagine if this was 30%, like it used to be. So yeah, Cress is maybe not that bad here. I suppose you're still kind of having to worry about Gal. Gal could cause you issues, but and then Swampert's there. And then I remember how the red.
Neither of them have a water resist.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That's interesting.
So maybe a lot of Swamperts as well.
The Swamperts just became really, really strong on both sides. Yeah, I like that because both Deoxys are both running Rock Slide as well. I mean, not that they obviously
they don't know that.
But, Rock Slide's not much better in this case either. So, that's really maybe we'll see some Swampert action then. That'd be quite cool. Yeah, that seems like a really. Yeah, I'm surprised by that actually.
Right, let's hit play then.
Let's see what they're going to bring in.
So
Okay.
Mandy switches out with the Frostlass. That's it wasn't an awful matchup to be fair, but he obviously values his Mandy a lot. Surely the Swampert shields here. It could be Grass Knot.
Yeah, that would be.
Bold.
Cool. Oh wow. Okay. Because that would be a not unsurprising moveset to see. It would also be there was like Flame Charge. Grass Knot was a popular one for a while. So I was running it, and it's great fun catching the Swamperts in Switch.
Down a shield and switch. Oh, and energy. Oh.
No. I feel like this is not going to end well. So I've got to go into Reggie. Yeah, but Reggie Rock against 2 shields, even with an energy advantage.
You're going to get these shields back quickly, though. That's a nice thing about Reggie Rock.
It's true.
So I was looking into this. Fun fact about Regirock: it's the only Pokemon whose quickest fast move comes after 11 turns. There you go.
Oh, there you go. I did not know that. Thank you very much. So, the things like, I love Regirock. Great League Reggie is amazing. If you can get your hands on one, everyone, do it because you will not regret it. It's so much fun. It's just how fast do those Stone Edge is coming? It's just
scary, isn't it? The Frostlass has got so much energy here that the second one's going to come immediately. You know,
there's enough residual damage that I think it KOs from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just and what had the shield as well. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just can't do anything about it. Yeah. Okay, so good for Yerkoski there. This is also really good. This just feels like this is going to be RPS now.
I don't know. Is this really good? Because you've got a shield still. Because like you've not got anything that's one shot in the Frostlass. Like Frostlass could choose to just let this through and take the shield and then farm the Mew now. Yeah.
You're going to farm down with a Swampert though?
No, but you can tank a Silph and you've got plenty of residual energy after this. Or maybe you shield the second one, but
he's going to do it. But you've still got. It's still from that position. You've still got Mandy lined up with it, and you don't have to have Reggie against the dude. So, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but Gal wins this. Gal's a shield up. Gal wins this.
It's not a horrible match, is it? You're discharged.
Yeah, more damage. Yeah, Gal wins this.
It's interesting. I'm surprised they discharged, to be honest.
Well, like the debuff Stone Edge is still killing, isn't it? Let's face it. So now you just shield this. I mean, fair play to Rob. He's going for the farm down here. That's
ballsy play.
Yeah, not sure I could have brought myself to have done that. Yeah, you've got to respect that. And then I think he's got 2, or he's not far off 2. Oh.
Yeah.
The farm down was crucial, gave him the energy. So down to the.
So I'm guessing Yerkoski's gone with Air Slash for the mirror. Then I'm guessing. Expecting mirrors, but yeah, the problem. So I like Air Slash Magic, but it does have a problem with that. In matchups where it needs energy to win, it does take so much longer. You have to account for that. And also, I suppose the Gal match there is it's only neutral because of the electric typing, isn't it? So
calling the fire punch bait was huge there. Like
very ballsy, ballsy players all around. Look, like ignoring the fact that it could be grass knot in the game previously.
I mean, at this point, I mean, Yerkoski has to win this. Like he's lost, he's 2-0 down. He needs to win to stay in the tournament, really. So you got to go all in. But still, yeah, incredibly ballsy to go for it. That's disgustingly fast.
Yeah, it's just outrageous, like how fast that thing is. And again, but with just the raw power of Hydro Cannon, even after it was nerfed, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It just feels like it does feel like when you're in those good matchups with it, or even just like solid neutral matchups, it does feel like cheating in many ways.
Well, that's it. Well, I faced one in GBO the other week, a Shadow with that Silph, not Hydro Cannon, and even that, like that's well, actually, a Shadow Silph is the same as Hydro Cannon, more or less. So, yeah.
Wow, that's disappointing for the individual there. not burning in the league. Okay, so this is.
Yeah, Gal's got too much here, surely.
Yeah,
nice effort to try and catch, though.
What was he? I wonder what he was. what was he calling then? If he was having Cress in the back, that just seems like a bit of an interesting play there. Like, got to deal with Galv. Frostloss is not amazing. Mandibuzz.
Maybe Diggersby.
Yeah. I suppose that was the problem. He caught Diggersby in the lead, didn't he? So, yeah, just it's too hard of a comp to overcome there.
Just yeah. So 3-0 win for Rob there. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. It sort of means now that he's 2-0 and 5-1. So things need to go the way for like either Seekey or HotPocket need to win the next two and win them well.
Yeah. He's put himself in a super position as DancingRob. Yeah. Just really highlighting there, like, he's a world-class player. Like, especially that game too, where he was like hard countered essentially in the first two, the lead and the switch, and still won. Like, just phenomenal play. Just real pleasure to watch. Yeah, I mean, what else can I say?
Just a shame it went so fast. I'm really sorry I didn't. I didn't tell you I hadn't watched these in advance. I mean, maybe I should have realised when the files were so short. But you live and learn. HotPocket versus Seekey then. Both guys need to win.
Okay. So this, I like to look at this one from a team comp perspective, because it feels like after seeing the first game, it just feels like Guard's going to be a lot harder to bring.
Definitely.
See the Talonflame will just maul it. Bastardon, obviously. Neutral on Drapion, those crunches come out faster. You're going to burn shields. Yeah, I mean, you can still hit 4 of them pretty well, I suppose, but those 2 losses are so hard. Yeah, even if you've got shields, those ones aren't going to matter. Just on it. So I wonder how HotPocket adjusts here. Or you might go in for it again, try the one and run maybe. I don't know. What's jumping out at you?
I think what's jumping out at me is that I kind of feel like if Seekey's thinking that he's got to try and catch the like this is like complete mind games. Like as you say, like the Bastard and the Meganium have such good matchups. Kind of makes you feel like Pelipper might be the way for HotPocket to break that, and obviously that walls the Politoed, which otherwise is fairly okay versus the rest of versus HotPocket's team. But I feel like the Pelipper might do some. It's like a lot. This might come down to whether the Politoed gets in and does a load of damage, or whether the Pelipper comes in and gets a load of damage. Maybe potentially. Like if it's not going to go down to Bastardon just wrecking stuff, or Meganium wrecking stuff, or vice versa, or Swampert or Regirock wrecking Bastardon. I'd be more concerned about the Bastardon than the Meganium if I was HotPocket, because I'd be more concerned about the Meganium than the Bastardon if I was HotPocket, because he's got Earthquake, which can hit Marowak, which would suggest would be the standout counter there.
Yeah, true. Also, actually, just trying to think now. So the Meganium, obviously, Pelipper will hit Meganium for super effective with his wing attacks, but Meganium's going to resist the weather balls.
Not the Hurricanes, though.
Yeah, but then I know it's a mind game thing again, but like if you want that KO, you're having to go up there, and in that time, like Meganium's hitting you with neutral Vine Whips, and he's going to hit you with a very heavy neutral Frenzy Pump, which is going to get too fast. So I think Pelipper is a key player here, but I still don't think it's necessarily a straightforward thing with Meganium, is it? Like, I'd be really interested to if they had comments on what they were thinking pre-game. I'd love to know what they're thinking, but because these are two so very interesting teams compared to obviously. There's not to say that DancingRob and Yerkoski's team weren't interesting, but these certainly feel like they've got more flavour to them.
Definitely. Definitely.
I wasn't going to say spicy, just something a bit different.
But
yeah, let's have a look at where they go. I'm not sure. Yeah, I really can't call this one.
Yeah, so again, we're seeing this from Seekey's side.
So Meg first and Chris. Okay, not a bad lead to be fair. There's one with the Poly and the Bastiodon. Okay, so that core.
Well, this is probably Meg's favourite because of the stab charge moves, right?
Yeah, definitely. It can take some move loss. Obviously, you can see that it gets to the frenzy plants really quickly. Yes, Cress is tanky, but it's not going to like frenzy plants. Multiple of them still really hurt. Again, those elemental hyper beams as they were for the main series games, absolutely busted. Just see, absolute insanity.
Because of the shields, this, as we touched on before, alignment with Bastiodon is key.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh.
What did he do? No!
Oh no!
That has to be a misclick.
Oh sure. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
No, exactly. That could cost him here. Oh no! You just got
especially when there was Bastiodon there, which just.
Oh my god! Oh no! I can't believe I just saw that.
Hate to see it.
Especially after that, he's probably thought about game 2 against Rob as well, and now this has happened.
Oh, he's got away with it. He's got away with it.
How has he gotten away with it? No.
Has he though?
Someone.
Yeah, he has. Has he? Oh. Hang on.
What is going on?
Oh! It's a shadow ball. Come on, is it shadow ball now? Yes. Oh, he's tanked it. No, I thought he tanked it. Oh wow.
What on earth happened there?
Oh my god. So HotPocket still like his God of War then? That's what we
Yeah, I'm amazed at that. I thought, well, he's brought the Talonflame in now because he really wants to put off the I'm in shock. I can't believe the ups and downs of that. But again, that could have all been avoided had he not clicked on Polytoad.
There we go. He's got it right this time.
Absolutely unreal. Fantastic. Oh,
I can't believe what I just seen.
This is timeout win all over again. I can't. Why is this? This is.
I shielded, so he obviously values the damage that you can get with weather balls here.
I mean, they do against Basti. They do chunk, and there's a lot. It also makes me think. I'm not sure if that's actually an XL one, because I think for an XL it does slightly less damage.
I wouldn't be building an XL Basti. I've got my rank 1 normal Basti. I'm not putting all that Staros into another one. No way.
He's played it very smart here, by allowing those weather balls to go through, and obviously giving less farm to the swamp, which is going to be pretty big. It just feels like this is an uphill battle now. Everything's resisted apart from the Psycho Guts for Talonflame. Talonflame. So, I think you could just like straight flame charge and just throw got the Moonblast thing, but then just throw a Brave Bird against Swampert. Like, you don't even have to do shields, right? It'd be really good.
I do love Talonflame, such a good man.
It's a monster. And it's just one of those ones that gets even better when you use it in Ultra League. This is an Ultra, but it's just, I love Mons which have utility across multiple leagues. It's why Swampert's so great. It's great in every league, right? It's not just a one-trick pony. Yeah. So the viewers who may not have seen, go back to I can't remember which meta it was now when it came. It was maybe maybe Labyrinth or Vortex when we got the shiny new Incinerate Talonflame.
Vortex, yeah.
I called it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, you did. You did. Yeah, fair play. You did. Yeah, down to 1-1.
Not just the pretty face.
Oh dear.
I was about to say, like I said before, like Talonflame just builds so much pressure with momentum. It's insane. Even in those neutral matchups, and even some like negative matchups at what it can do. Like it doesn't speak to like Great League, but like in Ultra League, it can beat Swampert in Ultra League. Which is just ridiculous. Like it just shouldn't happen. But okay, so Politoed into Swampert. This is great, even with the Weather Ball nerf. Stuff doesn't look like it's nerfed, does it?
and importantly, it keeps the Basti away from Swampert as well. And he knows that. He knows it's important to keep in alignment, so he's happy to shield. Smart. Swampert's probably got the shield back here.
Yeah.
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 Oh, trying to catch it.
Here comes the Pelly. Doesn't miss it this time. Yeah, I just noticed actually I missed it in the last time we watched him. Seekey01 noticed that he's running Earthquake on his Politoed as well. Which is well,
that's standard, isn't it? I'm Earthquake by the way.
It depends on way. I like Earthquake when you use Poly as a lead, but I prefer Blizzard when you use it as Swim.
Yeah, fair.
There's been a lot of times where I have Earthquake Poly and big caught on the Switch. It's like I'm busted. But yeah, I think he had 1.5 banked here. So.
Oh.
That was
good call. Yeah, good call to shield the Earthquake there. Then he should get to the second one.
Yeah. Oh.
No, I think if this is Shadow Bone, Meg's going to hit the Earthquake here.
Yeah, I think it has to be Shadow Ball or Fire Blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be easy GG there, so surely. But we saw Madness before, so who knows? Oh.
Yeah, but one wood shot though. No way Shadow Bone's killing, surely not. Oh, it's Bone Claw.
I think it's one short of the Shadow Bone there, so yeah, and then it's should KO this one per. Yeah, that was really well played. Yeah, yeah, I'm more as I go on. I love Shadow Bone on Marowak, but I every day I feel like I'm more and more coming back to the Shadow Ball side of things. Just so many times where you just get extra bit of damage. It's just like one fire spin more than Shadow Bone is needed. I think is it something like that?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a lot of those times I've noticed when it's not as popular now with GPL, but when I was losing against Marowak with Shadow Bone, it was just because they got the defense wall, and it wasn't because they were doing damage right. So yeah, I think I'm more back on team Shadow Ball.
Always the way. Never in doubt.
It's just such a shame because like Shadow Bone in the main series game for Alola Marowak is amazing. It's such an iconic move for it because like everyone loves Alola Marowak across all versions of the game. It just feels like it could have been so much more, but then you can't bring it up to Shadow Ball level and have the debuff. That's just crazy. So I understand, but it just feels like it does feel overwhelming.
Also, AWAC's like a good mon. Look, let's take Shadow Bone away, right? AWAC's still the best.
Great.
Yeah, like I mean, maybe Talonflame challenges it, but AWAC's probably pre-Talonflame. Like AWAC's definitely hands down the best fire type in Great League.
Oh, easy.
Like, all Shadow Bone is like there might be a Silph meta where you don't need the Shadow Ball, for example.
Yeah, it's always that. I think it's always good to have them. It's obviously a digression now, but it's always nice to have them because it's I always see it kind of like the Focus Blast Reggie problem in that when they're trying to nerf. Like, most of the things that Reggie wins with Focus Blast is overkill anyway, right? So, like you say, if you get to a meta where, you know, Shadow Ball is overkill on literally everything, then why not run Shadow Ball? Because it's still going to do the job. But that aside, you know, didn't mean to go down that road. But yeah, team ball, that would have changed the game. So, yeah, cool. Really, really interesting game that was. Fun to watch.
So we're on to Seekey versus Yerkoski now. Both of these guys are 1-1. Obviously, DancingRob is at 2-0. So, if I'm correct here, I think either a 2-1 win is useless for either of these guys. They've got a 3-0 win. They've got to win 3-0 and hope that HotPocket 3-0s DancingRob to stay in the game.
That's a big ask, I feel, to be honest.
That's a big ask, yeah, absolutely. But you gotta take your. The condition is there. You got to play for it. Who do you fancy?
Oh wow! Okay, let's look at these teams. I just love Triple Psychic. Triple Psychic is so much fun. But yeah, Seekey has some pretty good answers there, though. Just having a look. So aside from Mandibuzz, Meganium can have great matchups across there. Like, I think it's fairly neutral with Mew. Even obviously the Surfs and the Wild Charges are resisted, but Shadow Claw is really impressive. But Wild Charge still hurts if you do a good job right. So I like Meganium for Seekey. Just keeping it away from that Mandibuzz is the big thing. You know, Mandibuzz isn't going to like Bastiodon, obviously. Not going to like Talonflame. So there's only be two things I was worried about. So maybe it's not going to get bench pressured out here. So that could be a big thing for Yerkoski.
I think we've seen about Yerkoski's team before. There is no water resistance, so the Seekey's Politoed, I think, might be huge.
Yeah. So it might bait Yerkoski into bringing Crest just with a Grass Knot.
But then at the same time, Seekey's also got, well, not only has he got Drapion and Bastiodon, but I think people sometimes forget that Talonflame actually walls Crest pretty well as well.
That's the thing. So Crest is a really bold pick here. I guess actually, I think Mew will show up just because it's a great generalist, and I guess you have the Wild Charge still, right? So you can still deal with Poly or threaten Poly at the very least. Yerkoski's. I'm trying to recall. Was Yerkoski's Mandibuzz Air Slash?
Have we seen Yerkoski's Mandibuzz?
I thought.
I don't think we have.
But maybe we're not then.
I don't think we have.
We've seen one Air Slash Mandibuzz. I know that much.
Have we? Maybe I've not been paying as much attention as you.
Because we had a discussion about having Air Slash. Yeah. Well, I think it might be Yerkoski's.
Right.
So then, because he has Air Slash, Mandibuzz and Drapion matchup is a lot more confusing.
Yeah. And we know that Drapion can't really bait or finish off with Aqua Tails either from Seekey because we know it's Crunch Sludge Bomb. So he's got to go all the way to Sludge Bomb. Not that that's particularly problematic with Poison Sting, but
no, but still, it's not. You're still going to take quite a lot of Air Slash damage, and those Aerial Aces do stack up. And Mandibuzz can take at least 2 Sludge Bombs from a non-Shadow Drapion because Poison Sting gets a lot of energy, but it does like 0 damage. It does nothing essentially. So you're not really going to farm very much down. But if you are, you can be very ballsy about it. So I actually really like Mandibuzz because especially again being the Air Slash variant, that does if it's as we remember correctly here. I think Air Slash Mandibuzz is really quite good here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that from Yerkoski.
So you're saying Yerkoski to win?
I'm going to give the edge to Yerkoski. But I've also seen the errors that Seekey's made, unfortunately. And it's just about But because of that, it's also good to say that it couldn't happen anywhere else to anyone else. It's just so hard. Like they're so good players, and these builds are so interesting. And you look at them and they never kind of. I don't look at it and see there's like one clear winner. I'm just kind of going off a good feeling, seeing how like Yerkoski's played.
Yeah,
like,
fair enough. Yeah, I just think the Toad's too good and the Crest is too hard to bring. Like.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe Crest doesn't show up here, so and sadly we probably won't get triple psychic unless Yerkoski's absolutely mad. Who knows? But yeah, I think Mandy's going to be a real key player here. If Seekey recognises that, I think Bastiodon's going to show up. I think Talonflame could show up as well, because, if he not knowing what that moveset could be, because again, the Talonflame Mandy matchup when Mandy has Air Slash is a lot better for Mandy. Not that it necessarily flips it if I recall, but it's not as nice for Talonflame as the Snarl matchup.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, it's so difficult to call here, and with so much on the line, who knows what's going to happen, right? So
yeah, and as I say, only a 3-0 is good enough.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Crazy things happen. So we're going in Meg lead into Matt. Oh no! So I caught Matt. Yeah. This is definitely,
yeah. But then crunch. We've seen a debuff happen before.
Yeah. But he's got it. He's got it.
That's fine. You shield this, yeah. Because you're ahead on energy. Because this is fine.
That's pretty huge. That is pretty huge.
Oh, you're not going to outspam though, are you? Because that second Hydro Cannon's a little bit quicker. Yeah. Good let
it's fine.
Oh, you tanked it.
So yeah,
I was not expecting that, you know.
It can. It's not like it's a really tanky mon, but it can take a hit, which is really it can surprise you. So getting the energy here, Sludge Wave.
Oh, that does so much damage. That does so much damage. Oh dear.
Oh no.
And the Stone Edges aren't going to do enough.
I think there's just too much work here at this point. Because he can chip with look how much like he could also chip with the rock slides. He just needs to put it into a range where Mandy can just do whatever it wants, right? Yeah. Oh, that's savage. So savage. Yeah. Trying to make a catch, but
yeah, I mean, fair play, sticking with it.
Yeah. Still, practicing good fundamentals and whatnot, but that was brutal. Really, I'm surprised. Oh, am I? I don't know, because it's a 5-4-5-4, the crunches 5, so
they stuck with the same team though, Seekey. Yeah, so he's
maybe if he shielded, he could have made it potentially.
I don't think so.
So it's 5-5.
Because Swampert winning CMP there, and the counter swap was fast from Yerkoski.
Yeah.
But
he was one ahead. So I'd have to think about that later. But yeah, maybe.
I think the Swampert gets there in CMP on the third. Yeah, he got a shield. We know that Seekey's got to keep alignment. That's how he's going to win games.
And I think for me, seeing this and also seeing game 1 is why I really disagree with the double nukes boost out of Drapion.
Fair enough.
Having that act makes people laugh at it as act failure, but it would have done enough in those situations, right? It's not there to kind of one hit KO things. It's there to get to the charge move when you need to be there. Because get it to in 4 every single time is horrendous and amazing, depending on which side of the field you're on. And means that you could definitely avoid situations like this.
Yeah, for sure. Like similar with Jellicent, I mean, I hate Bubble Beam. I hate the move, but I'm slowly. I've always been a big my big thing was Bubble Ice, Bubble Double Nuke is the way to play Jellicent. It was always my thought, but now when you're not doing quite enough damage with Jellicent as you might be otherwise, sometimes you need that little bit of chip, and I think Drapion plays the same.
And also having the Bubble Beam debuff in that position, it can be a massive game changer. It means you might get that 1 HP in a dream somewhere else.
So we need you. So Yerkoski's 2-0 up here, though, right? Sorry, we need what we want is Yerkoski to win this to keep things.
We need Yerkoski to win this to make this like a bit more interesting. Oh no!
Yeah,
that's not a good place to be. Mandibuzz triple psychic. Bring in 4 ones. About this.
The defense drop, but again, because there's no Aqua Tail, it's going to be the DD shields this and starts punching away some energy, isn't it? But as Drapion starts spam, Drapion must start spamming.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's one of the great and worst things about Drapion is, again, depending on the side of the field, is that you can just apply so much pressure. But again, it makes if someone's only ever throwing crunches, it does kind of clue you into that they probably don't have the Aqua Tail then, and then that kind of change your perception on the shielding scenarios. Because I played Drapion quite a lot, and there's so much nice throwing crunches first, and all of a sudden Aqua Tail comes out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, now I can definitely get to a crunch that I need to kind of KO something else.
Yerkoski's kept switch though.
Oh, he's done well then. But again, that's that situation about having those high energy. Poison thing's amazing, but sometimes you need to get to that move a lot quicker. And has he really used Sludge Bomb? I can't recall him. And a lot of things that you can Sludge Bomb, you're probably just going to crunch anyway. Just get that stab, crunch, defense drop potentially. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a case for getting rid of Sludge Bomb there, but that's a debate for another day. This is horrible for the Bastiodon, of course. It's got all that energy. There's the Sludge.
There you go.
That's a GG. Excellent display of energy management. And recognising the win cons, knowing how important Switch was, but also recognising that maybe he made a call on the Aqua Tail thing, knowing I know the count, Drapion being quick and rising popularity, maybe recognise, well, he's always going to need 5 to get to crunch. That means, I'm going to get to use an E quicker.
And you can shield a bit safely, as you say. You can be more comfortable shielding against it when you know, or when you've got a strong feeling that the Aqua Tail isn't going to come in you. There's nothing worse than shielding a bait move, is there?
Which has that psychological effect as well. So if you're not worrying about that kind of, if you know that there's no bait, it's always going to be hard hitting moves. It kind of takes a bit of the pressure off of your shielding decisions, which then allows you to kind of free up elsewhere. It's one of the things I always think about, the bait moves, not just the fact that you're thinking about, am I going to waste a shield? It's about the psychological effect that it has on the kind of the stress that it has around how that. I'm an awful person to play.
We know this. This we know. Yeah.
There are certain mons which we really like having the double nuke move sets, and there's a place for it. But I think when you've got such a high energy pressure thing such as Drapion, I think you want that added stress of knowing that you've just wasted the shield on something which Drapion can get to very quickly once again, rather than really getting any value out of it. So yeah. I think if people are going to run Drapion running Aqua Tail, then do it. that's my take-home message. But we got the 3-0 that we were looking for.
Yes, we do. So Rob versus HotPocket then. We know HotPocket likes his Gardevoir. There's no Charm Resist. There's the Mandibuzz there. But what strikes me about Rob's team is that the other things outside of Mandibuzz are either very bulky and won't necessarily be deleted by the charms, like Deoxys and Diggsby, or are very fast like Swampert and Frostlass and Galv, we've seen HotPocket isn't going to be put off by that sort of thing. I don't know. It could end badly for HotPocket if he sticks with Gardevoir.
HotPocket has been playing some outrageous lines, but maybe that's just how he's seeing playing in this event, in this kind of this tournament thing. And you mentioned earlier about having to go all in. Maybe it's we've discussed before about maybe thinking a level too deep, or maybe he's thinking at the level that he needs to, thinking like people are going to look at my line and think Gardevoir is just an insane pick for me to bring in this match, so I'm going to bring it because it's like right. So who knows? That might be what he's thinking. Because that can catch people off guard. Like something that looks so like such a bad pick against the 6, like then you bring it anyway because you think, oh, the opponent could be thinking, well, it's so bad against me, then why would they pick it? Then so I'm not going to bring anything that's going to counter it. And all of a sudden, you're on the back of a 2-shield charm down, and you feel really, really bad about yourself. It happens, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So who knows? Like I can't profess to say like I could really put myself necessarily on these levels and think about like maybe that is something I potentially think about. But I'm you've played me a few times. I've probably done some insane stuff like what are you playing at? And I can't profess that I would say in a strategy where I think like oh he'll definitely think this is crazy, so I'll do it. Right? Who knows? Like again, when you're in the position that he's in as well, in terms of score wise, I mean, there's also an element of why not.
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah, as we say, like HotPocket's out of this. Rob only needs one win to seal the place, so HotPocket's got the pride, the pride to go for. So yeah, all in maybe. I do think that the crest looks strong for HotPocket. Like I mean, obviously, like it's not going to enjoy taking on Mandibuzz, Frostlass, or Galv, but it's got play versus it up versus everything there. So maybe we might see some double psychic from HotPocket.
Double psychic's always a good fun one. Psychics from main series being pretty difficult to deal with. You put them together in Pogo as well. They do have a lot of coverage and can do a lot of really fun things, so it wouldn't surprise me. Good solid pairing. But who can predict at this point what their mindset is? But that's part of the fun. So
let's press play and let's see how well HotPocket has cropped his games. Good job.
I'm assuming I actually can't see anything right now.
Oh,
one for YouTube. I'm going complete.
My bad.
So I'm thinking maybe he's gone with a crest lead. He's gone into Mandibuzz. I'm probably wrong. if I call that one right, that is insane.
Let's try again. I'm going to leave this in. I'm not editing this out. No way. Let's HotPocket as DancingRob. Game 1. Nothing went wrong. Let's press play.
Let's go for HotPocket. So Swampert. Oh wow! Okay, this is going to be interesting.
We do see the double psychic though.
Yeah, so he has gone with that strat. So he's to be fair, I guess like the Gardevoir doesn't really. I mean, Frost if he's got a shield, it can charm through Frostlass again. I guess the thing we also know is that both these Swamperts are running Quake as well now. Because there's only 3 Swamperts, and we saw Earthquake from another one earlier. So that's the call I'm making. I'm sure
we've seen it. We've seen it Sludge Wave somewhere at some point.
Sludge Wave was Yerkoski.
Right. Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So here's the crest.
Which about 40% maybe. Yeah, a bit more maybe.
it's the thing. Like it's it hits. I think it hits a lot harder than you expect, considering it's Crest and then it's going into Mandy. And also Moonblast being non-stab. It's caught me off guard a few times, I must admit. And again, it's just that there's always that chance that attack debuff. When it feels like it's not going to be that big of a deal, something like Mandy Buzz, but then it really takes away some of the edge of like foul play or Dark Pools, for example, where you want that extra bit of something. It makes your life a lot more difficult. So
yeah, especially when, as you say, like something like Avalanche or Shadow Ball, maybe you can afford to take a bit of a debuff on, but not when you've got foul plays, but especially when it's something like Mandy Buzz, where it's not a hugely attack weighted mon in the first place.
And this is kind of crazy now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Add all the energy. Yeah, you've got the shield, surely.
Yeah.
So what was the second? Wait.
Yeah.
It's a single move. Single move.
Yeah. Well, you don't need this. Yeah. You don't. What else are you clicking?
Well, if you've got him by with a normal type.
Oh well, that's true. Yeah.
So as part of it was thinking, like, if Diggersby comes in.
That's a good point. Yeah. Obviously, we know that. Rob does not know that. That's worth noting. And then, there we go.
Yeah, that's very well played. Yeah.
So there's game one. So that's Rob's tied up his place there. Let's see how the rest of the game plays out.
Having talked about just the pressure of guard even two shit, it just feels like it's just really fallen very, very short in many regards from what we've seen so far. Like, obviously this is working. This is where you want it, right? But yeah, I'm looking back at HotPocket's games and I feel like in many ways maybe Gardevoir was more of a trap for him than it was a solution.
Yeah, I feel the same a little bit with Seekey and Bastiodon as well, to be honest. They were very similar mons, despite them being such opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, there's always, I mean, they're great at what they do, but at this level of play, it's such a risk to kind of lock yourself in with RPS mons, because that's what they are, right?
Yeah.
As much as we said that they have some pretty good general matchups, the majority of them are hard wins, hard losses. The neutral matchups are fewer than their wins and their loss matchups.
Well, certainly in Gardevoir's case, if you're looking at shield scenarios anyway, I think. Yeah.
But the thing is, even these shield scenarios, it's had two shields and still lost, which is where you want two shields and Charmer, and it's still losing, right? And that's why I feel like, I feel like there needed to be more of an adjustment later in the game. Like, I think it's worked like once that I can recall potentially.
It is. I mean, I guess what I would say about the Shadow Gardevoir is that, like, if I had to choose, like, if you say to me, right, you're playing in this Worlds tournament, you've got to choose either Shadow Gardevoir or Bastiodon to have in your team. I'm taking Shadow Gardevoir because if I'm stuck in a bad matchup, at least I'm not getting farmed down by much because. Let's say you're Shadow farming me down. It's not going to take many Shadow Claws to kill me. Whereas if I'm Bastiodon stuck in versus a Swampert, like that Swampert can come out with 100 energy. That's 2.5 Hydro Cannons.
If I'm not to an RPS one, I want it to be an RPS one which is going to die quickly.
Yeah.
Because we already know how important energy is, and we've seen here. I very much like I don't like letting my opponent have as much energy, if any, if they can help it. So this is why I'm always I've got XL to build an XL Bastiodon. I don't think I'm going to build one, to be honest. Just because it feels very one-dimensional, and when it goes wrong, it's far worse for you than it was for everybody else.
because it's not like it's got a move that can hit Mud Boys anyway. Like it's not like it's got an Earthquake, which might do 40% to Swampert. It's not got that.
Yeah, it's just like with the guard wire in many rule space, like even when you hit charms on steals, those charms still chunk as it happens. I've seen it. It's not like that's why we need to nerf charm, make it 5 turns. Niantic, hear me. Yeah, I feel like it's actually been more, like I say, it's been one of those things which seems to have been more of it's worked here, but it's got the alignment that he wanted. And I always think, like, again, to go back to it, 2 shield charm is a strategy that some people employ, but if 2 shields are not working for your charmer, you can't do that.
No.
Right? It's this weird situation where you feel like 2 shields with a Shadow Guard would be great, but it's so glassy, and those fast moves, even resisted fast moves, are still chunking. It just feels like again like I'll go back to the term. I think it was a trap. I think it was trying to solve a problem that wasn't there, or it's just solving too much of a specific problem, and you might have been better off actually with a non-Shadow Charm, or maybe something like Shadow Gramble or something like that.
Just thinking that, because Gramble with the with crunch and close combat become a little bit quicker, and there's a little bit more variety there. Although, have we had a rocket event since Gramble's come out?
Oh, that is a very good question.
That's a question for another day. For now, last game to play. It'd be good to see HotPocket win to get a game on the board.
Let's see what they're leading into here.
We've seen this before, yeah.
Here we go. We love the mirror. So completely getting rid of Garden Wire this time. I feel like it's actually probably the right play here.
Interesting that he's got Regirock and Pelipper in the back. So obviously the temptation would be to switch to Pelipper, but then this Swampert's going to switch, and then there's the Regirock Colt versus Swampert, isn't there, potentially? So got to stay in this mirror despite having the really tempting Pelipper.
Yeah, you've got to play this out. Like I think this is it's one of those situations where you want to play 2s out. Actually, just get the shields down, because Reggie as a closer is amazing. It's like having shields down on both sides isn't necessarily a bad thing. Also, spamming out those weather balls with no shield down is pretty handy. Hurricane's big. So I don't think losing shields here is that.
Actually, that maybe was a miss-switch. Like, surely you'd be going to Regirock there.
Yeah, Reggie's the call there. This is not a nice match. You need to land. You need to land 2 Hurricanes, I think, or Hurricane and maybe 2 weather balls. I can't remember how much Hurricane does to a bandy. There's still the shield there as well.
Yeah. Unless he's because Rob's led the Swampert, so he's probably not going to have Diggersby in the back. So maybe HotPocket's thinking, well, we'll just keep Reggie in the back because it's good in general. Like, he's going to force a shield here, so well, I assume he's going to force a shield here.
Maybe that's his prize, but maybe force the shield and then let Pelipper go down. And as you Reggie with the shield advantage is pretty devastating, because things are still going to need to hit it with charge moves to win, right? So here we go.
Do you shield this? Do you let this through? Sorry, in case it is Diggersby in the back. You got to let this through. Yeah.
The foul, because the foul play is not going to do anything. You resist the aerial ace. Having the. I have to assume that he knew that the Swampert had the energy for it. Yeah. Right? So that makes sense. This should still KO from that health range.
Oh yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Even resisted.
Yeah, it just hits so hard, and I love it. It's great.
Right, then it comes like, obviously Reggie Steel is the Reggie that you see most predominantly, but the fact that Stone Edge comes up a little bit faster as well. Always nice catch.
It's very nice, very nice. Yeah, that's the thing that it's Reggie. I think Regirock is the most underrated Reggie.
Oh yeah.
We don't talk about Regice. Regice is a thing.
We don't talk about
it. It's also one of those things I think a lot of people can't appreciate it until they've played with it. Like until you play with Regirock, I think you don't really understand how hard it hits, and just actually how versatile it can be in terms of like that's rock and fighting coverage is just insane. And again, how fast they come up, right?
Yeah,
like here.
Really good counting on HotPocket's part there, just to make sure. Because obviously he needs to save as much energy as he can to have a chance of taking on the Mandibuzz.
Yeah. Oh, just lock on down.
Oh no!
Oh, gotta be kidding me!
Oh,
that is. Oh, that's brutal because he played that.
Yeah, he played that perfectly. Like he couldn't have done much more than that, could he? But yeah, really unfortunate on HotPocket's end. But I suppose nice to see a clean sweep for Rob as to go through as the winner of the group, undefeated.
Absolutely real. That was a great match to watch as a spectator. Yeah, again, I think HotPocket's. Well, you see, he dropped guard, and just look how much closer those matches came.
Yeah,
and that was, I think that was pretty much true of his other matches as well. And there was only one game in one of the other matches where guard really came through and did what it was supposed to do. But again, I think it just locks you into a particular play style, which is, if with this level of player, you just know how to play around it. So, like we saw that in the very first match, HotPocket versus Yerkoski, like how quickly he adapted. So, I think that was maybe a HotPocket's doing. Won't be the last we see of him though. He's very young lad.
Of course, yeah.
Very talented, very talented. He'll be back, no doubt, and wouldn't be surprised if we see him go further somewhere down the line.
Absolutely. Now, good. Best of luck to Rob in the finals. European player. It's nice, as us sat here as Englishmen. It's nice to. Well, I kind of feel like it's nice to back the European player. Anyway, I don't know if you agree.
I absolutely. How dare you imply anything other than that?
Listen, people have different thoughts these days, don't they? That's all.
It's great. Unfortunately, I've not ever had the pleasure of playing Rob. I've only ever spectated, but I know he's an absolutely fantastic player. Comes up with some really great lines. We saw it in the showdown a few times about a few months ago, bringing that Pachirisu pick. Love it. Obviously, he got swept one of the showdowns. Great player. No doubt he's going to do very, very well. And, it's always big up for representing the Europeans. So I wish him all the best. But I'll have a go at him one day.
See, I have to bring this up. my memory, generally speaking, is awful. But everyone has those games that they remember where like something amazing happened, and you remember it. I've played DancingRob once, and it was in a practice tournament for season 2 regionals, and I was testing out Typhlosion, and it was before Typhlosion got incinerated, so I was running Shadow Claw, and Rob had a Noctowl, which was really low health, so I was able to Shadow Claw down the Noctowl with Typhlosion, and then hit the incoming Azumarill with a Solar Beam. So my one experience battling Rob has been that great things have happened. Just strange stuff. So yeah, it's always good to see Rob's games. And so as I say, best of luck to Rob in the finals.
Absolutely, best of luck to him. Very much looking forward to seeing how he does. See if he can maintain this frankly dominant form. We'll see what happens.
Well, I'll tell you now, because I know you've kept off. You've been staying away from Twitter just to make sure nothing was ruined or anything like that. But Doonbug has also won his qualifier, so we have 2 people going into the finals who have won the showdowns. I can't minimum.
Well, this is. I don't know if Doonbug's ever going to watch this, but all respect to Doonbug, like fantastic player. But I still remember him qualifying for I think pretty much every single showdown, and I think there was a couple that he didn't show up to from his virus week. And I believe that at one point, this is probably chat on Twitch just stirring the pot a little bit, but like I think someone who knew him came in and said like, "Oh yeah, you missed it because he overslept." But yeah, like Doombug's one of those players.
These views do not represent Matthew Brewer PvP. These views represent.
No, like, but I think that just in many ways he missing a showdown and just be like, just show like I think anyone who's anyone in or who ever followed PvP within Pogo has heard of Doombug. Like, just a phenomenal player. The things that he's done within the game, you know, GBL always being all the way up there. Like, you know, Silph, just an incredible player, and to have done what they've done, right? So. Yeah, this is really shaping up to be something really special. Like, you know, everything I've ever watched by Doombug has been, I've come away with kind of like, what? What is this? Like the level of players insane. And DancingRob is really kind of like pushing the boundaries from the European side. So I think we're in for a treat.
Yeah, I think absolutely. Personally, still backing Bibalicious, having won the bit that I was involved in. So be backing Bibalicious all the way. But
what that was, but you know, it's just. But again, we saw the quality here. How hard it was to call the different matches. Yeah. Yes, DancingRob got the sweep, but you know, they were all still really close games. Obviously, all the continental champions are fantastic players in their own right. What I'm interested to see is how, you know, is it going to be one of the champions winning it overall? Are we going to see one of these prelims winners? You know, it's kind of like when we look at other sporting events where there's kind of those qualifying rounds. Is it going to be a qualifying if they've got warmed up, so to speak, and then kind of like back into the rhythm of it? It's just so difficult to say. And you know, without wanting the video to go on too long, we also have the wild meta that is going to be coming in for this as well, which is unlike anything we've ever seen.
I'm going to upload a short video with my thoughts on that shortly. Or I'll say shortly, probably within a day or so of this video going out. So if anyone does want to hear what I think of that, I'm sure I'll probably do a field update or something like that. But
yeah. We want to, is it going to be a new field, a different field?
Probably not. It depends on the weather.
But if anyone wants my thoughts on it, then none of you do, so it doesn't matter where I'm at. But you know, I think it's going to be pretty wild. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're going to implement it. I'd love to have a go at it at some point in the future as a kind of a custom tournament, maybe. Yeah, exciting stuff. Really, really hyped about this. Like, really looking forward to seeing how it all finishes.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining me. It's been a good laugh. It's been a good laff. Sorry some of those games were so fast. Like, as I say, I haven't done footage, but
it's really helped hone my kind of like speed running of commentary and stuff like that. I feel like I'm ready for anything now. You know, when I finally kick off my own kind of stuff, I'm probably not. But you know, if you ever catch me around, I'm going to know what I'm doing. That was fine. So yeah, but no, thank you very much for having me along. It's been great fun. It's been absolutely brilliant going through these review blind. A pleasure as always. Thank you so much for having me. And you know, looking forward to hopefully doing it again sometime in the near future. So.
Absolutely. See you later, mate. See you in a bit.
Thank you.